Welcome back once again. Still to come, Duke against Connecticut. When you think of some of the great games Duke has played over the last few years, you think back to 1989 in the regional final against Georgetown. You think 1992 regional final against Kentucky that went to overtime. But really, a couple of the best games happened in 90 and 91 against Connecticut. Mike Tirico has a look.
They were 85 minutes of basketball filled with blood, sweat, heroes, villains, exultation, and despair. The Duke-UConn saga began in the 1990 Eastern Regional Final after Chris Smith sank a three-pointer that sent the game into overtime. And Christian Laettner played out a childhood dream with his team down by 1 and less than 3 seconds to play.
It was, one of the shots that you goof around with in your driver when you're growing up. 3, 2, 1, shoot it.
To Bryant, back to Laettner, he dribbles, takes the shot at the buzzer. Scores!
Well, Laettner hit the shot. I just felt so much disappointment. That was a special season for us, winning 31 games, and we had been a magical ride with Hennefeld and Chris Smith and Scotty Burrell and some great players for us. And it was disappointing that the season was over. That season, we wanted to go on until July sometime.
The rematch came 1 year later in the Midwest Regional semifinals.
We felt they were definitely out for revenge because they were a very good team the year before, one of the highest ranked teams, and we had beaten them with a span of 2 seconds. That game had its own excitement because I got beat up a little bit, so people like to see that.
Now Sellers going to go on to the pile-up, and he goes right down on Laettner's face and then gives him some more.
Well, supposedly Rod Sellers, the center for our team, gave him sort of a flagrant foul.
It was just a flagrant foul, that was all.
But UConn's bruising attack couldn't overcome their shooting, just 40% from the field. Duke won 81-67 en route to capturing their first national title. Now, 3.5 years later, the Huskies get another crack at their nemesis.
With the problems in the past with the Rod Sellers deal and a lot of, people, having their different opinions about, Christian Laettner, there's some times where it's like, well, I can't wait till we play Duke because of them guys, and we want to stand up for, for Connecticut.
And the people of Connecticut would like nothing better than to exact some revenge on the team that once denied the Huskies a trip to the Final Four.
I think there are a number of people throughout the country who don't like Duke. One reason is that if in games that we've played before, if we've won the majority of them or have won a big game, you're not going to like that team. If you're in this business long enough and you win, there are a lot of people who aren't going to like you.
The Duke game became special, I think, for most teams who feel they have a legitimate shot to beat Mike. And I think you're going against a team that you know is going to be there at the end, and just see how we fit in December, and hopefully we'll see them back sometime in March.
And you likely will. Now, Duke is a team that's higher ranked coming into this game, but a lot of people expect Connecticut to win the game. Why is that?
Well, I think because of the experience factor. Duke, of course, right now losing what they did with Grant Hill and the fact that they're playing a lot of freshmen. Yet, when you take a look at Connecticut, I think they have a serious problem, as we saw last year in the Big East Championship game against Providence. Because what happens is, look at the inside game with Dickie Simpkins, and this was a Connecticut. Go physical inside against UConn last year. Dickie Simpkins took it to him. Now watch what happens on the other side of the floor when you take a look at Michael Smith, offensive rebound, go up strong and in. Now when you react to this, here's Duke this year. Eric Meek was almost going to be redshirted. Krzyzewski said, no, you're playing. Here's why. Go inside to him. Then, of course, you got the offensive power when you take a look at Cherokee Parks. This shot, go up, slam dunk, get it in. I really think this is where Duke tonight, he's going to look, Coach K, get it inside, pound it. What we saw with Providence is a weakness, and it's going to be interesting to see if Calhoun adjusts to that this year.
Yeah, a couple of big guns now in the NBA who might have played in this game as well are moved on to the other level. But for UConn, what do they have to do to get the victory?
Well, I think Duke last year showed with the inexperience of Capel playing as the point guard and the fact that he's got to do it this year. Collins is out of the lineup until January. Here's what happens. Watch the pressure with the turnovers. Capel looks inside to Antonio Lang. Turnover number 1 in this game. Same thing here. He sees Collins cross court, throws it away over his head, another turnover. Then, of course, here we are, Connecticut, tenacious, at Virginia. First game of the year, they just go full court trapped into transition, easy points. This is what they want to try to do to Duke tonight. Just keep the pressure on. Full court, half court, just keep coming at you. Turnover, again. going right at you. And I think Duke, because they've got 3 freshmen playing, the inexperience of that. When you take a look, here's Connecticut against Georgetown in the Big East. Georgetown having trouble inside. The pressure again of Connecticut coming through. Another transition points. And I think the way to beat Duke's pressure defense is to force the Connecticut pressure into turnovers by Duke. And it's going to be interesting to see how Capel adjusts to this, but how Coach K adjusts, because this is one way Connecticut can take away the inside game by going full court. Let everybody play 94 feet.
And expect to see some tremendous man-to-man defense in this contest as well. That one is coming up next. Duke against UConn as the DirecTV Great Eight continues from the Palace.
Time for the second game of our DirecTV Great Eight event, and it's a 6th-ranked team in the country, the Blue Devils of Duke, taking on the Huskies of UConn as the Big East meets the ACC. And welcome back, everybody, to the Palace at Auburn Hills. I'm Brad Nessler. You know, over the years with Mike Krzyzewski and his Duke Blue Devils, always there's been a tremendous leader, a Johnny Dawkins, a Danny Ferry, then Christian Laettner, Bobby Hurley, and last year Grant Hill. The 1994-95 edition has to have one of those kind of players, too. And Mike Krzyzewski says this year it's Cherokee Parks' turn.
He's got to give us a presence. He's got to be able to give us the confidence when we're on the road or we're before a big game, where you look around the locker room and, oh, yeah, Cherokee's here. Good. And that makes everybody feel a little bit better.
Well, Dick, I guess it's time for the Chief to be the head of the Duke tribe tonight, huh?
Well, when you're talking about Duke, they've always had that special player, especially at winning time, to make the big play. The Chief, Cherokee Parks, has to be able to be that guy this year when the crunch time is there to make the big play, and he has the ability to do it.
Jim Calhoun knows what it's like to lose a superstar. Grant Hill's now playing for the Pistons for Duke, but for UConn, Daniel Marshall's with the Timberwolves.
Well, Daniel Marshall's gone, and have had so many stars during the Jim Calhoun era. Certainly you talk about Scotty Burrell, you talk about Chris Smith and Daniel Marshall, but a new star is born. That's right, his name is Ray Allen. Remember the name. Very explosive, a tremendous potential as a scorer. He will be dynamite. They will love him in Husky land.
All right, the dynamite is set to explode. Second game, 6th-ranked Duke, 16th-ranked UConn. We'll meet the starting lineups from Auburn Hills when we come back.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the DirecTV Great Eight is presented by DirecTV, introducing personalized TV, and in part by County Seat, the place to go for men's and women's Levi's Red Tab jeans, and by the totally new Ford Contour, a world car for the 21st century.
We get set for the ACC and the Big East to square off. Duke and UConn, and time to check our starting lineups. First for the Blue Devils of Mike Krzyzewski, Capel at the point, Blakeney the 2 guard, Wojciechowski, Parks, and Eric Meek. There was talk that he might redshirt. Not the story, Dick.
Well, he graded out higher than any other Duke player after their preseason workouts, and they've decided to play him, and he's been super strong on the interior.
For Jim Calhoun and the Huskies of UConn, Kevin Ollie, a lot of experience at the point. Sheffer, a great 2 guard. Ray Allen, who Dick talked about. Travis Knight at the center spot, and one Marshall may be gone, but there's still a Marshall in town.
Well, Donnie Marshall's a very versatile player. His real strength is on the interior, but he can't step out and knock down the 3 as well.
Let's check in with Leslie Visser.
Brad, Duke has always had great backcourts, and 3 freshmen are expected to make an enormous impact. Steve Wojciechowski will make his first start. Ricky Price is versatile, and the sweet shooting Trajan Langdon. Brad.
There's Wojo. Mike Krzyzewski said, I've been waiting a long time to have somebody with a ski on the end of his name playing for me.
I'll tell you, didn't think he had a tough time recruiting him? When he walked in the house, he bought some kibasi, and it was all over.
Ed Hightower, Rick Wolko, and Jerry Petro are officials.
Mike told me today he really wants to start out slowly with the freshmen, in that he doesn't want to play 2 at the same time on the floor.
Nice feed, Donnie Marshall to Sheffer underneath.
Breakdown by Duke. There's that a 2-2-1 press that can really be annoying. The little guy Wojo can handle the rock.
Only 5'11", but he can wheel. Parks cross courts it to Blakeney. Blakeney high. Parks a rebound and a stick back.
Chief with the offensive rebound. Blakeney getting the starting role right now. Solid player defensively. Academically was out last year, the second part of the season.
Here's Kevin Ollie at the point, 6'4" senior.
Donnie Marshall taking the Chief away from the basket. Look at Chief talking to him.
Ray Allen jump stop and the jumper.
He's a big-time scorer. He broke the record of Shaquille O'Neal's in the Olympic Festival, averaged better than 25 points a game in 4 games.
101 points in 4 games, and also is a great rebounder. Averaged 9 rebounds a game in those matchups. Donnie Marshall kicks.
He averaged 12 points a game last year, only played about 20 minutes of action.
There's Allen. 6'5" sophomore, former Mr. Basketball in South Carolina.
Jim Calhoun has gone across the world in recruiting. He's got him from Israel. He's got him from Federal Way, Washington, from out of California.
Capel thought about the outside jumper, instead penetrates and leaves it for Meek, and Meek had it blocked.
Ray Allen with the block shot. Meek getting that post position inside. Capel has not played well in their first 2 games, according to Mike Krzyzewski. Finished so strong last year.
Meek, nice speed underneath from Wojciechowski, and Meek draws the foul.
You talk about strength. Eric Meek is super strong. Corliss Williamson might be the strongest man in America. We're going to watch Allen rotate over. Look at the great legs, number 34. And he uses the left hand. If he uses the right hand, he makes contact, but he uses the left hand. Most great shot blockers block with the left hand. David Robinson, and probably the greatest of them all, Bill Russell.
Eric Meek, his numbers from last year, 3.5 points, 4.2 rebounds.
Well, he feels physically strong right now. Mike Krzyzewski coming back from that ruptured disc, had surgery, has just gotten permission really now to start walking, is in rehab. What a system. You talk about a model program. Duke right now, 7 in the last 9 years for the Final Four. But it's just really one of the model programs in college basketball.
I like how Mike Krzyzewski said they were coached better while I was laid up with my bad back.
He doesn't believe that.
Meaning Tommy Amaker and Mike Bray and Pete Gaudette, and giving them the credit.
Marshall trying to shoot that wing jump shot. He's better if he plays on the interior. Here he is again.
Marshall misses again. Knight with a tip.
Interesting player. Travis Knight gives them quality minutes inside. They'll really be strong. They need a presence on the interior.
Blakeney with a finger roll. Nice drive.
That's the way to attack pressure. Try to finalize, try to score, attack it. And Connecticut attacks immediately back in transition. Donnie Marshall with the score.
His first 8-5 UConn.
Connecticut tries to change defenses to never allow you to get into a rhythm. And that 2-2-1 is so disturbing. Jim Calhoun, 29-5 last year, but they lose to Florida. And with the mentality that exists now in college basketball, that blows my mind is people say, what happened to Connecticut? They had a fantastic year.
Capel with the 2 guard with Sheffer on it. Trying to feed down to the baseline. It's a tough pass, and Cherokee Parks loses it out of bounds. Duke, of course, 7 Final Fours under that man in the last 9 years. Is that incredible or what? And the runner-up, having lost the final to Arkansas 76-72, losing Antonio Lang and Grant Hill.
Also lost Marty Clark, who's an outstanding super sub coming off the bench. He was so tough. Nice cut without the ball.
Ray Allen, 4 points early, and the Huskies by 5.
There's that 2-2-1. You got to post up someone to the middle of the floor.
And Sheffer forces a turnover.
Mike Krzyzewski really doesn't want to play 2 freshmen together early in the season. He wants to give them a feeling out process, and that's why you see a Wojciechowski. But we will see Ricky Price, and we will see Trajan Langdon.
Park steals it right back.
Oh, he missed Blakeney. Had Blakeney. Wojciechowski's role is to get them, ignite their offense, get it started, and to put hard, tough pressure on a basketball.
Blakeney got himself in the air, left it for Parks, way outside Cherokee. That's not quite his shot. Allen clears it ahead to Ali, and Marshall on the left. Oh, that's great transition. That's absolutely super transition. No one runs the ball up the court into the throat of the defense better than Kevin Ali. I think Connecticut's going to have a fantastic year this year. I really believe that, despite the loss of Danielle Marshall. Almost 4 minutes in, and the Huskies with a 7-point lead.
See, here's where Cherokee Parks has got to be their guy. They're looking for someone to give them leadership and scoring. When they need a big basket, he's got to deliver.
There it is, but he came up short. Woj kept it alive and dishes right back inside for the Chief. Scramble on the floor, jump ball will be Duke on the possession arrow. I think the 15:49 to go first half. We've got a timeout from the Palace with the Huskies right now in command over the Blue Devils, 12-5.
We're going to watch right now how Capel is staring at the basketball, and right here he's going to run a back cut after the post guy finds him. Ray Allen, watch him move without the basketball as he catches Capel staring at the ball. Freeze it! See right here, Capel stares. He's going to go down the gut of the defense, and we're going to see the little drop pass by Knight. There it is. Here he comes. Says, goodbye, Jeff. Goodbye. Jeff's dad's watching and saying, hey, my son can't do that. His father is the coach now at Old Dominion, had a big win over South Carolina, played Virginia really tough. His dad's got a dynamite duo in P.D. Sessions and Odell Hodge at Old Dominion.
Here's Trajan Langdon into the lineup for the first time, and also Ricky Price, who just nails the jumper outside.
He's going to be a special player. Grant Hill was singing his praises last night at the banquet, playing with him in the summer, said his quickness is so special. From out of California, was probably the best player in California. And they produced so many outstanding athletes.
Early, it's UConn, 6 out of 8 from the field.
Jim Calhoun is one tough competitor and a solid tactician.
Inside, nice strong move underneath by Ray Allen.
Ray Allen's just got that nose to score. And here comes that nuisance press. Now they change the look of it. They go to a 1-2-1-1 pressure.
UConn's hit its last 5 shots. Parks with a double team.
Well, see, Meek's got to make himself available. You got to flash for the ball when the ball's on a wing.
Back outside, Langdon's first shot of the night.
He's a perfectionist. He's struggling shooting 27% in the first 2 games, but he's a much better shooter. Playing the 3 freshmen together. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wojciechowski, Price, and Langdon.
Here they are around the perimeter for the Blue Devils.
Play 3 out, 2 in, walk-in violation.
Wojciechowski, 4th Duke turnover.
Mike says they'll change their personality this year and that they'll attack the basketball more with Wojciechowski putting pressure on the ball. He said maybe we shouldn't change. Last year we didn't play that kind of pressure because we didn't have the kind of guard like a Bob Hurley or a Wojciechowski. And we went to the final minute of the NCAA Final Four. Sheffer, outstanding passer from out of Tel Aviv, Israel. Nice cut without the ball again. What a clinic he's putting on, a movement without the basketball. Ray Allen.
Allen with 8. And the Huskies' lead is 9.
1-2-1-1 pressure now. Look at those legs.
Way up.
Did you see the legs, the bounce off the floor? I couldn't believe the way he hopped off the floor. He's got great hops.
Sheffer walked with it.
Watch Ray Allen right now. Freeze it. Right here, he's on the outside. He's going to catch him staring at the ball, and he's going to go back door on him. There it is. He catches him staring. He says, goodbye, Ricky.
Then gets up high and uses the glass nicely.
See, you must watch the ball, you man. You have to be able to see both. You can't stare at the basketball. You have to have midpoint. You have to watch. The vision must be circulated right on the midpoint.
Langdon goes high to Newton and down to Parks.
Nice touch by the Chief from out of California. Broke the heart of Jimmy Herrick when he decided to go to Duke.
Duke's cut the lead down to 5.
Sheffer's like a point guard on the floor. He can pass, he can shoot the ball.
Donnie Marshall puts it on the floor against Parks and puts up the jumper. Rattled out.
He's trying to play on a perimeter too much, Brad. He's got to get himself inside where his presence and physical strength is so impressive. Ryan Fair, who's checked in now, is a big scorer as well. Shepard can't connect. Rebound comes off to Newton. And Duke can cut it down to a two-point game if they score. Newton from out of Canada certainly has been a big player for them in their early start. And they're looking for Langdon walk, excuse me, Dick. Yeah, excuse me, Brad, but they're looking for positive minutes out of Newton to give him a big player inside to join the combination of Parks and Meek in the rotation. Some people will say that Marshall's stepping away to take Parks away from the basket. I don't really believe that. I believe as he goes to the sideline is that they want him to utilize his strength, and that's his power on the interior. Duke has as many turnovers as they do field goals. Capel putting the pressure on Sheffer and picks up the foul. Jeff Capel becomes really important to this team with the departure of Grant Hill. He was so impressive at the end of the year last year. Had the big game against Arkansas in the championship. Chris Collins will be back, they're thinking about 2 to 3 weeks. He started to work out. Remember, he's been out with a stress fracture in his foot. He's such a fierce competitor and a great worker. There's a look at Chris. I talked to Chris before the game. He said, I'll be back this weekend against Illinois. He wants to play against Illinois. He's from that area. His sister's a big star in high school out of Illinois. He looked good in the warm-ups before the game. Hey, Newton looked really good going up for that rebound. Parks double-teamed and powers it out. That's what they need out of him. Tremendous move by Cherokee Parks. Excellent call, Brad. The power move on the interior, and he really kept his poise, didn't lift his pivot foot, gave the head fake, the ball fake. Watch the ball go inside now. Watch this right now. Now watch. Here comes the defense work. There's the ball fake. There's another one. And then he keeps his presence, squares his body, and converts. The Chief. Kirk King picked up the foul, and Parks a chance for a three-point play. Kirk King's a guy with great legs, a tremendous jumper. 7 for Cherokee Parks, and Duke's got it down to 3. Nice entry. Knight to King. There's the legs. Sounds like a chess move, doesn't it? There's the legs I was just talking about. He's got tremendous elevation. There's that 1-2, 1-1 pressure. They harass you constantly. Price spins in the lane. Oh, big time. Move. Get ready for another star at Cameron. Get ready for a special player. The name Ricky Price. 19-16 in a game that is picking up steam in a hurry. This has got NCAA all over it. It's got that special feeling. Knight on a little give and go. Oh, follow attempt is no good. Fair will keep it alive. Fair, a good shooter, can knock down a perimeter shot. Ollie, nice dish. Allen, good move. 10 for Allen. Ray Allen showing everybody while we talked on the top of the show how a star will be born. The lob, Newton trying to handle it, and Allen knocked it out of bounds. I mean, this is early in the season, and we're seeing some super basketball. Great ball movement, player movement, guys who are very active, especially number 34. 11:21 remaining first half. High-powered matchup. The Huskies right now with a 5-point lead on the Blue Devils. DirecTV Great Eight. 21-16, UConn leading Duke in our nightcap with 11:21 left in the first half. Brad Nessler, Dick Vitale, and Leslie Visser with you from the Palace at Auburn Hills. Number 6 against number 16, the matchup here. Right now, number 16 in the lead. Langdon in trouble with a trap, cross-courted to Price, who went a mile high in front of Jim Calhoun to make the grab. 7 on the shot clock. Price, Parks, goes up and drew the foul. Donnie Marshall got it. Parks has really become a lot more aggressive. You know, this is a big game, I think, for the Big East in terms of a sense of pride. Look at Jimmy Calhoun. Early in the season, we see Syracuse losing to George Washington. Villanova gets beat by Minnesota. Georgetown loses to an outstanding Arkansas club. And Boston College blown out here by Florida. There was a great article in Sports Illustrated by Jack McCallum that the Beast is back. The Big East is back. And I really believe they will be back. But I think for a sense of pride, they need a win big early in the season over a big-time opponent, and Connecticut's the team right now that really can make this happen for the Big East.
Parks drains both free throws. Cherokee's got 9 already, and we're not even at the midway point of the first half.
He's really become much more aggressive offensively and running the basketball, Brad.
Fair skipped to Malou with Langdon on him. Third turnover. Syracuse will win it tonight easily over Colgate. Providence over Boston U.
Capel playing a point. They use Newton up on high against that pressure. Newton's much more active inside than he was last year. Southpaw from out of Canada, number 55, posted on a box.
Langdon, a one-hander. Newton keeps it alive.
Langdon's really trying to force the action rather than allow it to come to him.
Capel, that's a dangerous pass, and Marshall almost stole it.
Trajan Langdon's an outstanding shooter. Has not shown it yet early this year, but once he settles in, he's a perfectionist as a player.
Good-looking lob, but Newton couldn't handle it. It comes free to Price, and now Capel for 3. Got it.
They need that. Jeff Capel. JC's got to deliver. He's got to be their special player with the experience he got last year.
And a foul out on top.
Seems strange to be watching Duke play and not see a Bob Hurley or a Christian Laettner or a Grant Hill. But they still have Mr. Krzyzewski, Coach K on his sideline, and that is stability. And Cherokee Parks now has become their new star.
Well, he's seen that long line that we talked about at the top of the game. The leaders that have come and gone before him. And we saw that leader from last year, last night, Grant Hill, now very comfortable as a millionaire and on his way to NBA Rookie of the Year honors without a doubt the way things are going. There's Parks and what he did last year.
It was great seeing Grant last night at the banquet with his dad, and they love him here in Detroit.
Boy, do they ever. Donnie Marshall off the dribble. Air ball. Knight had it blocked by Meek.
I think right now Marshall is playing too much on a perimeter. He's missed 4 shots from out on the wing, and he's not utilizing his great strength, which is working 15 feet around the basket.
Sheffer around a pick, nails it.
Just solid, just solid. Early November, he went back to Israel to help the team in the qualifying rounds, and he played with the Dove. Hennefeld, the former star here. They've had that Israeli connection, Katz, Hennefeld. And they got a guy on the bench right now, Rory Mintzcone.
That's it. Blakeney got his man up. Capel lost the dribble. Must have hit a funny spot in the floor. Shouldn't be a funny spot in this. This floor is brand new.
It's a beautiful facility. Gorgeous place.
King on a hook. They're going to call him for traveling before the move.
This is a big-time matchup right here. These are 2 heavyweight clubs. And as the season progresses, I think if you want to play Duke, you want to play Duke now with their young people in just the infancy stages of their career. You want to catch them early, not later. They're going to get better and better with these young people.
Blakeney trapped by Knight and Marshall. Got it out of there and threw it away to Ollie.
Well, Newton made a mistake there in that he didn't make himself available. He was hiding behind a defensive player.
Sheffer, Knight, nice ball movement by the Huskies, but stripped away. Wojo steals that one.
He's a tough little competitor, this guy. Look at him, head up all the time, great vision, not looking at the ball as he's dribbling it, has his head up.
Capel tried to leave it for Meek on the baseline, kicked away. Good thought.
There's the brain trust. What a staff. Kamiyama, Peter Godet, Michael Bray, and the leader of the pack, Mr. K.
They
have a great staff at Duke. I mean, really super staff. They all have a great love for their school and great loyalty to the man that leads the pack.
UConn now in a zone, and Capel shoots over that, a mile over that, and a push inside.
You're being nice and mild, a little air ball.
Earlier tonight, it was all Florida in their win over Boston College. And Andrew DeClercq was our DirecTV player of the game with his 18.6 rebound emotional output that helped his team to their victory. That one was never in doubt. Tonight, much different story in the second game, as the Huskies have led by as many as 9. We were tied at 21 moments ago, and now it's 24-21 UConn. Ali working against Wojciechowski and got down low, leaves it inside for King, and he's fouled.
Kevin Ollie does two things for the Connecticut team. He puts relentless pressure on the basketball as well as anybody in the country defensively, and he runs the ball up the floor from baseline to baseline quicker than anyone. When the rock's in his hands, he is so explosive in pushing the ball down the floor. From out of Crenshaw High, that great high school in Los Angeles. And by the way, it was Uri Coleman's.
Exactly 8 minutes left in the half, and it's UConn by 3.
Saturday for Louisville, Michigan State and Florida Wake Forest. Only on ESPN.
We're going to take a look right now at the pressure. There's that 1-2-1-1 lineup of the half-court pressure. Now we're going to take a look. Watch Newton in the middle, the big guy, 55 for Duke. Freeze it right here. See, right here, he's hidden. He's got to make himself available into the gap so they can find an outlet to him. See, he hides. He stays. He's got to step to the ball, and that's what forced the turnover. He's got to get to the open area of the floor. Tommy Amick is probably telling him that, and Tommy was a great point guard at Duke.
Off the pick on an inbound, and Allen nails a 3.
They say the one question mark with Allen would be his perimeter shot, but I'm going to tell you something. He knocks that down with his transition ability. He's going to put big points on a board.
And Cherokee Parks with a 3 on the other end.
He's really looking for his shot this year.
Ali,
There's
all
that
the way.
quickness. There's that quickness. That's what I was talking about. He's so explosive. He can go coast to coast. Nobody rotated back. I love Kevin Ali.
29-24.
Kevin Ali is explosive. Did you see that quickness, Brad?
Wojciechowski can't find a 3. Allen the rebound. Here come the Huskies up by 5. Lob ahead. Ball loose, still on the floor. And this possession arrow will go to UConn.
That's real hustle getting on the deck. What a year this year in the ACC. I think they're the premier conference. I believe they got 7 teams that could be in the top 25. The only 2 I'll exclude, and they're not going to be easy, will be North Carolina State and Clemson. Florida State will be certainly an improved team with Corey Lewis joining Bob Sura. You got to think Maryland's going to be outstanding with that starting 5. Virginia's going to be much better than what they showed in the NIT.
Florida State, we saw a score earlier having trouble with South Florida. Tight game tonight in the second half. There's the leading scorers tonight. Ray Allen and Cherokee Parks, the 2 guys we talked about before this game began, and they have certainly filled the bill for us through the first 13 minutes of play.
And there'll be a fair team down there in Chapel Hill where they're trying to build a program. Young coach trying to get it done. What's that school down there?
Coach Smith.
Yeah, Coach Smith down there in North Carolina.
They won tonight, too.
I love their perimeter game. I think with Calabria and Williams is going to have a big year this year, and I love the little guy McGinnis.
Fair. And it partially blocked. Parks pulls down the loose ball. That's his 4th rebound for the Chiefs.
They had Meek. They got to go to Meek inside. Got to get Meek involved.
Parks thought about another 3. Instead, kicks it out to Price.
You like him? You like him? I could see why Grant Hill was singing his praises last night.
Allen trying to answer on the other end, and it's tipped in. by Willingham.
Willingham, a banger, a crasher, hanging around the basket. Nobody blocked them out. There's that trap. He bites the trap, brings it to the wing.
And a walk on Duke. Don't forget, we've got a lot more action coming up tomorrow night as the DirecTV Great Eight event continues. It'll be Mizzou and Purdue. Missouri and Purdue will square off game 1. 7 o'clock, the 9th-ranked Arizona, number 17 Michigan, and the nightcap at 9.
Talk about two outstanding coaches. Look at that backdoor move.
Fair had it blocked as he goes down hard.
Off the high post, Purdue with Gene Cady, 3-and-zip against Norm Stewart, who last year did a brilliant job going 14-and-zip in the Big 8. Norm, one of the real outstanding teachers of the game of basketball. I can't wait to see the Haley twins tomorrow, the two 7-footers.
45 seconds left with the Irish and Indiana.
My daughters are there. They're cheering like crazy for their Irish. They're at that game.
You saw that Florida State-South Florida score. So those are two we'll watch closely, and John Adiga will update their scores at halftime tonight. Ollie had it blocked by Parks.
And then Parks turns and looks at him. Come on, Cherokee, get up the floor.
They left Langdon and Alley. And he did draw the foul as Willingham let him have it.
This is quite a test early in the year for both these clubs. This is where you get a definition and you find out about your strengths and weaknesses. Watch Parks on the interior. They run the back cut. Parks rotates over. Great help defense. There's the great timing, but now he looks at him. You don't have to say anything, Cherokee. Just get up the floor.
And you can remember Parks last year in the ACC tournament with a 10-block outing against Clemson.
Trajan Langdon, a great baseball player out of high school, signed with the San Diego Padres. Got some good cash. You're allowed to play one sport. You can play it professionally and still be allowed your eligibility in basketball. In fact, Brad, Mike was telling me today, he doesn't have a scholarship.
He's not on scholarship.
No, he's like a walk-on because of his deal with San Diego. They're paying for his education.
Nothing like having a two-time All-American walk-on, huh?
That's unbelievable. But they don't have an extra scholarship. They only have 11 players under scholarship. Mike didn't use the full allotment of 13.
Donnie Marshall, that is a nice move. He had to find an alley and then go strong and drew the foul as well.
They isolated him, and that's what I was talking a little bit earlier. He's got to utilize his physical strength and his power game instead of drifting and wanting to be a guy shooting a J. There he is, taking the ball strong, and he protects it from out of Federal Way, Washington, where he was a teammate and co-captain with a guy now starring in the NFL with the Kansas City Chiefs, former Notre Dame outstanding wide receiver, Lake Dawson.
Three-point play comes up short on that, though.
Jim Calhoun said he's the most improved player in his last 24 years of coaching that he has had. That's quite an achievement.
Down to 5.5 minutes in the half. 33-27. Huskies maintain the lead. Duke has never led in this game. They're banging underneath right now. Meek is. Parks had it blocked by Knight. We talked about Donnie Marshall, the 6'7" senior out of Federal Way, Washington, and there is how things have improved since his freshman year. Came on last year, 12.4 and 5.5 rebounds, making his 59th straight start tonight.
He just has to be careful that he's going to remember that he has to be Donnie Marshall and not try to be a Daniel Marshall, and that he's got to be a guy that plays to his strengths as opposed to trying to do things that he's not capable of doing.
Trajan Langdon on the miss. Kevin Ollie will bring it down court, and they're going to call a foul on Wojciechowski.
Wojo from out of the Baltimore area. Howard Garfinkel of five-star fame. I remember him calling me up and saying, where do you see this little guy? He said, what a competitor, tough as nails.
All three of these freshmen for Duke were at the McDonald's Slam Dunk three-point championship that Bill Raftery and I did up in the Bronx at the end of last season. And you talk about some competitors. And Langdon, by the way, won that three-point shootout in that event. Tonight he is 0 for them. Here's Kevin Ollie, the 6'4" senior out of Crenshaw High in L.A.
Bob Gibbons, who rates the different recruiting classes, had the Duke class rated 6th in America. He had 1 Michigan, Georgetown 2, Arizona 3, Louisville 4, Indiana 5, and he had Duke 6 and Missouri, who we see tomorrow, 7th. That was a super 7 in rating the different classes.
You might have just seen Mike Krzyzewski for the first time tonight out of his chair and having a chat with one of the officials on that lane violation, and Mike, with a bad back and all, finally decided it was time to get up and say something. Made his Position known. Ali will get another shot here.
He's going through that rehab period right now after the ruptured disc surgery.
Parks, great hustle, trying to pull down the loose ball, but it's going to be ball out to UConn.
See, that's the kind of leadership Mike Krzyzewski's looking for from his star. Diving for balls, being an example to all the young people, playing hard every day in practice. That was the great attribute of a Grant Hill.
The only back Mike's worried about now is staying on that official's back. Donnie Marshall, nice cut to the hoop. Again, he's got 8.
Marshall slides right into the open area, and that's smart basketball, very intelligent.
Lead back to 9, and here comes UConn with a steal. Ali!
They're up 11. What a great pass by Daron Sheffer. Just a tremendous look. Great cut to the goal by Ali.
Meek made a tough catch. Knight fouled him. Trying to be aggressive defensively.
What a mature, explosive, experienced team. They got some age. There's the pop. We're going to see the loose ball. Now watch the great pass by Sheffer. There's the great bounce pass. The move with the left hand. Lays it on the glass by Ali. There's Coach K. Certainly can't jump off that bench like he'd like with that ruptured disc surgery that he's back from.
Wojciechowski, his 3 rattles out. Meek and Knight get tangled up. Parks goes down hard. Sheffer will bring it for UConn with a 38-27 lead. Wide open. Nice move by Johnson, but he took too many steps.
Yeah, Rudy Johnson out of Jacksonville, Florida. He's been really hit with so many injuries. Shoulder surgery, knee surgery. Solid defensive player. I love the way Connecticut changes defenses to get you out of a rhythm. Now they're back from the 1-2-1-1 into a 2-2-1 pressure. Forces you to the sideline.
UConn on a 9-1 run right now. See if Price can end that. Now they're going to move it around, and Wojciechowski had it blocked by Sheffer.
Out of his range, he didn't get back on defense. They should have spotted Sheffer a little bit earlier, and they would have had themselves a layup.
Ali threw it away, trying to get the fast break to Sheffer down court.
I think one of the real problems with young players is understanding what is a good shot. I think coming out of the high school level where they dominate and they're the #1 option, they can take a bad shot and make up for it on the next possession. Here, Wojciechowski goes to the sideline. Right there was not a good shot, and look at the goal.
4 minutes left first half. If you're just joining us, it was Florida all over Boston College in the first game tonight. And right now, the Huskies have led throughout. It's 38-27 UConn. Nice feed. Price into Parks. Strong for Parks again.
Parks really playing big in the first half, but they're not getting any kind of production on the inside of Eric Meek, who's been outstanding early for him.
And a collision. Meek playing defense, and he will pick up the foul.
Eric Meek's been a young man that's had a lot of injuries in his career. He was going to redshirt so that he could have really had next year to really become the solid player they anticipated. But he looked so great in their preseason that they decided to play him immediately.
Donnie Marshall, who's had a big first half, will go to the free throw line.
Connecticut doing a great job of moving the basketball and getting that high percentage cut to the goal, moving without the ball. Very athletic team, good perimeter play. I think when you rate the best perimeter teams in America, Arkansas very strong with Corey Beck and Garrett and McDaniel and Dillard. And then I'd have North Carolina, certainly with Calabria and Williams and McGinnis. You got to think of Massachusetts with Michael Williams and Kellogg and Padilla, and certainly Andre Burks and Traviosa. And you have to think right here at Connecticut, certainly one of the top 4 in America on a perimeter.
Donnie Marshall going for double digits. He's got him as he hits both free throws. 10 for Marshall. And the lead has gone to 11 for the Huskies, matching their biggest advantage of the night.
MCI takes us to South Bend again. Game tied at 69 apiece, 2.6 seconds left. Ryan Hoover's going to get the last shot of regulation. It does not go. Brian Evans just hit a field goal, and Indiana leads. Brad and Dick.
All right, John, thanks. Here it's 40-29. UConn with a lead, 3:39 left in the first half. Connecticut has led from the outset in this game and has shot very, very well. Out rebounding Duke and shooting 61%. Parks, 14 points and 4 boards for Duke. But 13 for Ray Allen and 10 for Donnie Marshall has more than countered that.
Oh, what a super move to that baseline when he touches the end line. But you could just see that unbelievable speed that he possesses.
Gardena, California. Ricky Price will be a special transition player. He can really dunk out in the open court. Very exciting kind of player.
Hayward on top. Sheffer to Marshall. Allen on the cutter. He tried to get it to him, and he threw it away.
You know, Parks and Price are 9 for 13. The rest of the team is 2 for 11. You got to get some production out of Meek on the inside.
Parks, nice move. Too strong off the glass. Almost tipped it in himself. Here comes Allen and Ollie.
Boy, what pressure he puts on a defense, Ollie. Really going for the goal.
Price got a piece of that. Let's check in with Leslie Visser. Leslie?
Brad, Yuri Cohenmans and Duran Sheffer are 2 of the 4 players from Israel who have ever played at Connecticut, but their fans don't miss them much at home. More than 13 of the Connecticut games are televised back in Israel, so all their fans can see them, and they think this is terrific. It's like a pipeline from the Mideast to the Big East.
Well, if they're watching tonight, we welcome them to the Palace, and Duran Sheffer, who's known as the Israeli Iceman, is out there guarding Kenny Blakely right now. And he forced the turnover.
It was up in the air.
Ollie pulls up for a well-timed jumper. He didn't really have anybody on either wing. Decided to take a shot himself, and it paid off.
Kevin Ollie, really a solid point guard. If he can make that jump shot with regularity, he's really worked on improving his range as a shooter. But that was really a smart play. Used his head, pulled up at the foul line. You got 2 options. You can make the pass to the wings or shoot the jumper.
13-point UConn lead. Parks will try to slow it down, and he did just inside the 3-point line.
See, that's the leadership again. Making the big play, being productive. Doesn't have to be leadership in terms of verbally. Being productive, being a producer. Cherokee Parks, whenever they need the big basket, he has come up for them to keep them in the hunt.
He's got 16 points first half. Ollie got 3, lost the handle.
Capel's the guy that's got to give him some point production on the wing.
12 on the shot clock, 1:40 game clock, first half.
Ollie's with that great speed now facing. I mean, he just blowing by people, creating opportunities, but a little too close in traffic. Not enough spacing there.
Tried to leave it for Donnie Marshall and threw it away. 9th turnover against UConn.
Comes from that high school that produced Marcus Johnson, John Williams, Tremaine Folks now playing down there at California.
Darryl Strawberry.
Chris Johnson, who's playing Marcus's son now at UCLA. Jimmy Herrick's got an outstanding club.
Meek down low. Gonna wheel on his own and kick it out to Capel.
He's got to slide inside, post up, and take the ball to the goal. Get a little confidence and get a score on the inside, Meek.
13 on the shot clock. Price for 3. Got it.
Ricky Price showing he can drive the baseline, knock down the perimeter. You can see why. He was America's guest. He could have went anywhere he wanted in America. Combined good athletic ability with good academics.
11 for the freshman.
Good help right there by Meek stepping out.
Ollie lost the handle again. Back-to-back turnovers for Kevin Ollie.
Getting a little bit out of control.
48.7 seconds left till halftime, and that's when Digger will break down the Blue Devils, and John will give you all the top 25 scores and highlights. That is 48.7 seconds from now. UConn with its 11th turnover, courtesy of Kevin Ollie on that last move, and 42-34. Duke can close the gap a little bit here before halftime.
Last 2 possessions, Price and Sharks. And Price and Parks have come up big, making 2 big scores.
There they are playing catch on the wing. Price can't get this one, but Meek will keep it alive. And he's fouled by Johnson.
Good offensive rebound position by Meek, getting himself away from the ball. Most rebounds, when you shoot from the wing, will come off to the other side of the floor. And being a smart basketball team, well coached, Meek is in a perfect position for that rebound. To all you young kids out there, remember that if you're playing on a weak side, when that shot comes from the strong side, you get yourself in great rebounding position because most shots, if missed, will come off to the weak side.
Brian Fair checks back in for UConn, and here's Eric Meek, the 6'10 senior out of Escondido, California, at the free throw line where he shot 60% last year.
You know, here he is from California. As I said at the banquet last night, Brad, and and we look like Mike Krzyzewski and his staff. You look at Connecticut, and they epitomize what's so beautiful about athletic competition on the NCAA level. There are kids there from Israel, kids from Federal Way, from out of Washington, kids from the inner city and blocks down there in L.A. You got black kids, white kids, Catholic kids, Jewish kids, rich kids, poor kids, all wearing a jersey trying to bring honor to the school they represent. And I think that's beautiful to see.
Duke's cut the lead of the Huskies down to 6, and Sheffer on the dribble out on top.
Remember, 2 years ago, that would be a violation, but right now you
probably go about now.
You can pound the ball as long as you want. 1-4 offense.
Sheffer, tough jumper. Price pulled down the rebound. Enough time for a two-thirds of the quarter shot. Cherokee Parks, Ray Allen, the two guys we talked about to start the game, indeed have delivered. Parks with 16, Ray Allen with 13. Mike Krzyzewski's Blue Devils, though, go to the locker room trailing Jim Calhoun's Huskies 42-36 as we send it back to John Saunders. John?
All right, Brad and Dick, thanks a lot. I'm joined by Digger Phelps. When we come back, we will take a look at this game and the first half. We'll also look at other scores and highlights from around the nation. We are at halftime, and right now, Duke is down. We're going to look at this game as well. Florida against Boston College. That one was a mismatch in game number 1 of the DirecTV Great Eight.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the DirecTV Great Eight is brought to you by Chevrolet. The cars and trucks 36 million people depend on every day. Genuine Chevrolet. And by Foot Action. For every action, there's Foot Action.
Welcome back. 42-36. The lead is for Connecticut over Duke. Welcome back, John Saunders and Digger Phelps, as we take a look at the first half. You talked about it before the game and said that the pressure of Connecticut could give the youngsters trouble. It has.
And it really did. When you take a look at what happened with the inexperience of Duke trying to really make up the difference without Grant Hill handling the ball, they went to the freshman guards. And when you see what happens with Steve Wojciechowski right now coming down, here comes the trap. Connecticut's going to do this to you after they score. And it forces a turnover on the sideline where he just can't have the vision to find the open man. Turnover number 1. Now, Duke, again, read the defense. It's a zone. Look inside. Connecticut playing a zone. Why? To take Parks and Meek out of the game. So what happens? On a reversal, looking inside, little turnover, he walks. Second turnover, freshman guard. Now, when Connecticut plays man-to-man, here's why you can go inside to Parks. You see everybody matched man-to-man. Ball goes inside to the high post. Parks steps out after getting the ball inside. Turnaround baseline jump shot. He's really improved his outside shooting. We saw him hit another jump shot in the baseline. I think if you got the inside game going, Duke's in it. But the inexperience of the new kids on the block is showing up in the first half against Connecticut's pressure.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Duke make a run in the second half. There was a great game between Indiana and Notre Dame, your former team, and we'll get to that game in just a moment. But first, let's take you back to game number 1 that came from the Palace tonight. Boston College against Florida. Remember in the Elite Eight last year, it was a tremendous battle won by the outside shooting of Florida. Well, the Eagles are very young. Florida's Dan Cross with the steal and the break. Andrew DeClerc follows and slams it down 17-10 early. Greg Williams then comes up with a steal. Nice dish to LaRon Williams, and he takes it in strong to the goal. Nobody underneath. And then with about 3 seconds left on the clock, Tony Mickens grabs the loose ball, and at the buzzer, as if PC needed that, they were down big at halftime, 43-25. Dimitri Hill likes what he sees. He would like it even more in the second half, 91-65. Hill had 19. Andrew DeClerc had 18. Pittsburgh against North Carolina. 90-67 is the final in this one. Rasheed Wallace had a career-high 30 points. First Tar Heel with 30 points in a game since Hubert Davis had 35 against Duke in March of 1992. Maryland over Loyola of Maryland, 92-62. It was only a 5-point lead for the Terps at halftime. Ixrey Hip had 22 points. Joe Smith only 12 points, but had a career-high 7 blocked shots. Sacramento State a loser to Minnesota. And Clem Haskins looking on off the win in the last shootout. Townsend Orr, the circus pass to Vashawn Leonard. Goes off the steal, then he drives baseline and scores. Lots of wild play. Edwards goes in high up the glass, and then the big follow by Ramirez. The Gophers would put this one away. Good passing here, and Jason Walton lays it in 102-84. Vashawn Leonard was the leading scorer with 28 points for Minnesota. Wake Forest and Davidson, Wake's 16th straight victory over the Wildcats. They've met every year since 1958, 74-62. And Colgate, O'Donnell Foyle, they thought he was headed to Syracuse. He wound up at the gate. He was at the Carrier Dome tonight. 15 points and 5 of 15 shooting, 15 rebounds and 5 block shots, though. Lucius Jackson had 16 points for the Orange. John Wallace had 15 points. We'll continue with more in just a moment, including Indiana and Notre Dame, the game that went to overtime. Back with more in a moment. A look at the halftime score. Connecticut with the lead over Duke. Welcome back once again, and we'll take you out to the second half of the Palace at Auburn Hills in just a moment. John Saunders and Digger Phelps. But first, a great one in South Bend. There were so many great games played there. Think of a win over UCLA that ended a streak.
You're a little kid then, right?
Well, I'm trying to help you out here. Indiana against the Fighting Irish on this one. And Bobby Knight's Hoosiers needed a victory because they struggled in Maui. Todd Lindemann, little jump hook right there. Indiana 20-8 run in the first half. But Keith Karowski drains a three-pointer. Notre Dame's within 11 at halftime. At the end of the second half, Indiana with a chance to win, but the shot clock runs out. Actually, everything runs out, but they put a few more seconds back on the clock, just over 2. As they took a look at the shot clock, you see it running down here. Ryan Hoover gets the last look, a three-pointer, but it just bounces away. Tied at 69, headed to overtime. In overtime, three-point game. Brian Evans lets it fly. It's short. And then underneath the foul, and Bob Knight thought a foul should have been called on Brian Evans as he released it. First time Bobby Knight's Hoosiers have started 1-3 since 1976-77. They took a 5-game winning streak against Notre Dame into the game. Keith Karowski had 16 points. Ryan Hoover had 16 points as well. And Henderson did foul out of that game in regulation. That definitely hurt the team. Iowa against Drake, 103-68. School record 9 for 12 from three-point range for Chris Kingsbury. 29 points for the Hawkeyes. And LSU with a bigger second half and a close one against McNeese State. Very busy Saturday of college basketball here on ESPN. Michigan, you'll see them tomorrow in the Great Eight, but they'll take on Tennessee Chattanooga at 2 p.m. Then Louisville against Michigan State. Sean Respert, what a player for the Spartans. Florida, you saw them beat Boston College tonight. They'll take on Wake Forest. And Arizona State, fresh off their victory in Maui at midnight against New Mexico. A couple more scores. Boston U, a loser to Providence. First time these two have met since '86. Providence 8-0 against BU at home. Donyell Marshall is up in Minnesota, but Donnie Marshall's still doing it for the Huskies. Leans in, gets fouled as well. UConn has the lead by 6.
Basketball nets have it rough. Just hanging there, all vulnerable, no one to protect them. When I play defense, I do whatever it takes to save basketball nets from unnecessary wear and tear. On offense, I'm not quite so sensitive.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the DirecTV Great Eight is brought to you by Chrysler Plymouth. Watch for the Chrysler Plymouth Championship Challenge, Pick the winner of the Big Ten, ACC, Metro, Southeast, Southwest, and Pac-10 Chrysler-sponsored conferences, and you may win a VIP trip to the 1995 DirecTV Great Eight. And by Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth.
Ray Allen, who was huge for UConn in that first half, and I shudder to think how far we'd have to look back in the record books to find a Duke team that trailed the entire half. And at halftime, it's the Huskies of Connecticut 42, the Duke Blue Devils 36. Brad Nessler and Dick Vitale back with you at the Palace in Auburn Hills. And Dick, you know, Duke had a 7-0 run in the last 2.5 minutes of the half, or it could have been worse, but Cherokee Parks, the guy we thought would keep a minute, is keeping a minute right now.
Yeah, Parks made some big plays, and so did Ricky Price. We're taking a look at Parks, very active without the basketball. As we watch him right here, freeze it. Right here, he's along the baseline, and now he's going to rotate out to the wing, catches the basketball, squares his body, shoots the jumper. Very active without the ball. Now take a look at Ray Allen. You talk about a guy that moves well without the basketball. Number 34. Watch right now how he gets Ricky Price staring at the basketball. Freeze it. Right here, he's got him beat. He's leaning his way, and he's going to cut behind in what we call a back cut. There's the excellent pass by Donnie Marshall, and it's a tremendous move without the ball. I'm really impressed the way they move without the basketball, Connecticut.
You can see UConn was hot throughout, 60% from the field in the first half. Duke with 3 trays. Everything else relatively even rebounding and turnover-wise. Let's check in with Leslie at courtside. Leslie.
Brad, the Rolling Stones are playing here Thursday night, but UConn had no sympathy for the Blue Devils. The Duke staff told their players they have got to defend the post. When did you ever see a team get so many uncontested layups against a Duke team? They also want them to distribute the ball better and attack the pressure. Brad?
Cherokee Parks, 16 points to lead all scorers. Ray Allen had 13 to lead UConn, so 4 players in double figures. And we just asked the question when the last time Duke might have trailed an entire first half. The Duke Sports Information Department, Mike Craig and the guys, think that North Carolina led them throughout a first half 2 years ago. I thought they'd have to go back farther than that.
Duke played big at the end of that half, got some big production on a Ricky Price to get back in the game because Connecticut was making a real run. Looked like they were going to blow open a real double-figure lead at halftime.
42-29 was their biggest lead. That's 13-point difference, but again, Duke put a nice push on.
Connecticut
now they're right in it.
Connecticut played so well. They're only up 6. Shoot 60%, get great movement without the ball, playing a defensive end. College basketball, you can throw the ball back over the backcourt. Cannot do that on the NBA level. There's a screen for Capel and one to dump down into Meek.
Parks, baseline, yes.
He has been so big, really has improved his range as a shooter. But in the area I think he's improved is that he's making himself more available and more aggressive, thinking shot. I didn't think that he took enough shots in his sophomore and junior year.
I think that's a lot of times because there's always such a stud playing for Duke that they want them to have the ball. Last year's Case Grant Hill, the year before, Bobby Hurley, the year before, Christian Laettner, year before, Danny Fair. You can go back for a long ways.
They always seem to come up with that special player. He's going to shoot the 3. NBA 3. Wow! The NBA scouts are writing down. Look at them. They're all going crazy. And the bench says, we love it. Forget about the NBA scouts. We love it.
21 for Cherokee Parks, and it is Duke back to within a point.
That is Duke leadership, productivity, being productive.
And Parks is going to pick up the foul. That's the only thing that has slowed things down a little bit. Here's the last look at Cherokee outside.
Look at Cherokee. I mean, he's downtown. Nobody comes out to play him. He says, I'm going to shoot it. I can shoot the rock, baby.
That's his second 3 tonight. He had 3 threes all of last year. He has 2 tonight. Allen over Price. Price, nice job defensively, made him adjust that shot. And then there's a push. I think it's going to be on Donnie Marshall who gets the worst of it. He got it in the left eye.
Eric Meek certainly not scoring, but really making his presence inside known in terms of taking up space, using his strength. What a great kid this kid is, Donnie Marshall. Tremendous personality, great attitude. There's that 2-2-1 pressure. Now they try to invite you in a trap on the sideline. Wojciechowski can really split the traps.
18-20 to play. Duke Blue Devils with 20 seconds on the shot clock, and they have never led.
I would try to get Meek involved. Let him set a screen and step back from the screen.
Meek trying to tip it. Knight will pull it down.
Travis Knight from out of Sandy, Utah. His brother Shane is a big scorer down at BYU. They blew out Louisville. Lost a tough one in Minnesota.
Allen smacks that ball, turns around and wheels. No good. Price and Wojciechowski come out of the pile. 2 freshmen with it. Now the dish to Capel.
Reverse the ball. You got Price.
And a foul on Allen.
Capel missed Price right there, but with strong bodies, drove down the lane, created a foul opportunity.
There's those famous Duke huddles.
And they're hugging it, Cherokee's going, come on, Jeff, we can win.
Duke, since the end of the last half, on a 12-0 run. Cherokee Parks, 9 of those. Jeff Capel to the free throw line. And Capel, if he hits it, will give us our first tie since it was 21 apiece, and now double that, 42 apiece.
It's expected. This is what we expected in this game. A game to go down in the last 4 minutes. 2 highly competitive basketball teams, well drilled, a lot of talented athletes on the floor.
Capel for Duke's first lead of the night. Not quite. Tied at 42. Sheffer to Marshall. Look out. If you're a cheerleader, clear the baseline.
Marshall's got that strong body. Federal Way, Washington got down to the gut of the defense. That transition game, they really run the ball up the floor. You have to really excel defensively in transition to be able to negate the opportunities that Connecticut's trying to get in terms of the easy bucket.
Inbound to Sheffer. He thought about putting the 3 up from right there.
He's got the great size on a perimeter where he can look over the top of the defense.
They try to trap him. He'll work baseline. Parks blocked it.
Great move by Cherokee Parks, rotating over with that defensive block.
And every year, Cherokee Parks has also become a better shot blocker.
His stock is going up and up. We talked about Lou Rowe's stock going up. There's Cherokee Parks taking it to the glass.
It's his second of the night.
A lot of the All-American teams didn't have Parks on the first team or Lou Rowe. Going to start thinking about those guys that really going to have, I think, great senior years.
Sheffer, not quite. Tip won't go by Allen. He got it again. And pays it off the last time.
Just born to score, knows how to score from out of South Carolina. You know, Jimmy Calhoun gives a lot of credit to ESPN for the growth of their program in terms of the interest level as we watch Allen score from out of South Carolina. They have really hit the whole nation in recruiting. There's that reaction, that emotion.
Parks picks up his 3rd foul and gives Allen a chance for a 3-point play.
That's big. Mike Krzyzewski might have to make a decision and take Parks out.
Allen has 16, and the Huskies, just when Duke made a push, go back in front by 3.
There's Wojciechowski trying to go through the defense. Great look by Ollie, but Marshall a little bit out of control.
Big collision, no basket, no foul. Parks, 3.
Yes, he just feels it. He's got the rhythm. He's in the zone, baby. He is in the zone. He's on fire. He's super scintillating, sensational tonight. The Chief.
Knight outside. That's not his shot. Capel will pull down the rebound.
What a great atmosphere in terms of the feel on the floor. You and I so close to the action could feel that electricity and intensity here tonight.
Cherokee Parks in 1993-94 went 3 of 17 from three-point land. He only tried 17. He made 3 of them. He's got 3 tonight.
Well, you know, you talk about Grant Hill early in his career. He didn't have the kind of rage that he has now.
Allen too strong on that one, trying to keep it alive, and runs into his own bench with 16-26. And good enough hustle that he's going to keep the ball in UConn's hands unless one official overrules the other, which just occurred. I think that was the right call, and they got it straight. Rick Wolko and Jerry Petro over there talking about it, and they decide to change the call.
Connecticut 1 for 8 right now in the second half versus that 60 percentile. Duke up to 75% at 3 for 4. There's the 1-2-1-1 half-court trap.
Parks wants it, takes it. This time it won't drop for him. Sheffer will bring it ahead. In a hurry to Marshall on the run.
Marshall a little bit out of control, though, trying to finalize. Doesn't have his body with that good look at the goal.
Now it's up and down the court, and it's Capel for three.
That's the guy that's got to produce on the wing. He's got to be the perimeter player to step up.
That time Marshall had to look, put his hand up as if to say, get it to me. They did, and he makes them pay for it.
They do that as well as anybody in college. Arkansas does that well also, where after a score, they immediately run the ball up the court, and a lot of teams break down. Jimmy Calhoun teaches that well. He got that really in Boston. The Celtics used to do that with Red Auerbach for years.
You see the hand go up there?
Yeah, great catch. He says, I'm going to make like my buddy Lake Dawson, who I played with in high school, now starred to Montana to Dawson. Kansas City Chiefs.
May not be Montana to Dawson this week. They don't know that yet.
He's out with that ankle.
No three-point play for Donnie Marshall, though. Duke leads 48-47.
There's a high screen for Parks.
Marshall again on the run on the break. Yes.
He really gets out in transition. He can really run the floor for a guy with that super strength. We got ourselves a dandy. There's that 1-2-0-1 trap. You got to post somebody to the middle. You got to bring somebody to the middle.
Turn it over with 15:22 to go in the ball game. UConn has come back thanks to Donnie Marshall. They trail momentarily and now lead by 1. 49-48 Huskies. Jim Calhoun, whose team's ahead right now, knows what Cherokee Parks can do. He has 24 at this point.
He's got a chance to be one of the best players in college basketball. I mean, the thing I found out about him coaching him is Cherokee Parks probably is one of the has a California layback look, but on the court probably one of the fiercest competitors you're going to go against, and has great skills.
24 points for Parks tonight.
He really does have great skills. He can square his body, shoot the basketball. He can post inside. He can make the pass. He can outlet it. He can run the court.
Knight will try the outside jumper, a little too strong, and Langdon with a rebound. Duke again with a chance to go in front if they score.
Playing the three freshmen again on the floor, the three diaper dandies, Langdon, Wojciechowski, and Price. 3 out, 2 in. Newton along the base with Parks.
Price looked good in the first half. Goes up high, baseline here. Short, Knight clears it ahead to Ollie.
Here's where Holly excels, pushing the ball up. But look how smart. That's in maturity, a little experience, brings the ball back out.
Sheffer gets it back and nails it.
Wide open shot, can't let him get that look. He's got that excellent ability to make the open shot. Got the good rotation.
8 for Sheffer. Huskies lead back to 3. Langdon leaves it out for Price. He'll try it again.
Got the wide open shot against the 1-2-1-1, but came up empty.
3-on-3. Nice feed, Sheffer to Ollie.
That's Connecticut. They excel in the open court. Really push the ball up the floor.
Sheffer never changes expression, but boy, he can kill you in a variety of ways.
He really passes well. That's where you want to go. Into the post.
Lost it out of bounds. Couldn't handle the heat on the pass from Newton.
Connecticut's got an outstanding women's program as well. One of the top 5 in America. Athletics has really grown since the arrival of Lou Perkins on that campus, the athletic director.
Both teams in the top 20. As we had Florida earlier tonight, the only team in the country with 2 top 10 teams, one in football, one in basketball.
Duke needs a real stop right now.
They got to get it in Donnie Marshall's hands or Ray Allen with a group they've got on the floor right now. Marshall has it with Langdon on him. Ollie had it knocked away momentarily by Capel with 7 on the shot clock. It's Ollie.
He wasn't sure. It was indecisive whether to pass the ball or shoot the ball.
And it will still be UConn ball now with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Let's see if they are aware of that. They're going to have to get it in and get it up there in a hurry.
Yeah, you don't penalize the defense. The shot clock remains intact. 5 seconds right there. Travis Knight.
Got to hurry. Got it away, and he nailed it.
He'll hurry. He'll knock it down. Give him the open shot. He is a scorer.
18
Ray Allen.
for Ray Allen. 7-point lead again now for UConn. Blakeney on the fly.
senior comes through with a big basket. Blakeney slashing, sliding through the open wing area.
Donnie Marshall is really hustling back on track.
Oh, there's a foul inside. Oh, there's a foul. They missed it. 45, offensive. I mean, that's a no-no. That's a clear foul missed by the official. Where's the trail official? Eric Haywood.
It was Newton that got it right in the throat.
It wasn't intentional, but there was no question there was contact by Haywood in the post area. Take a look right now. We're going to look at Haywood inside the post, and here's the defense. We're going to now watch him. Watch the left hand. The left hand throws him right to the deck. The left hand clears it out, and it is missed, baby.
You heard of Iron Head Hayward. That was Iron Hand Hayward.
Oh, there's that wing pass.
Langdon squares up. He just can't find it tonight. Donnie Marshall pulls it off the backside.
And that's the perfect pass against the 1-2-1-1. Into the post and look diagonal, look opposite.
King. Elbows every place. A whistle and a foul.
Hey, Connecticut really can bring in some physical people off the bench. When you talk Haywood and you talk King, Haywood started most of last year as a physical presence on the interior.
Duke with 3 freshmen out there much of the time tonight that we talked about on Dick Vitale's diaper dandy list. But tonight, for the most part, Ricky Price has been the only guy that's made an impact.
So you want to bring the ball to the middle. You got to make yourself available.
Langdon still has not scored. Meek.
Oh, Meek is really living on the deck. You talk about a guy that's taking a pounding.
And Hayward's living in the Riddick bow edge somewhere. Mike Krzyzewski, a great freshman class, and there's Langdon out there right now.
Yeah,
Ricky Price, though, is the only guy doing any damage.
Hey, Langdon Wojciechowski struggling a little bit shooting the basketball. Wojciechowski's done a pretty good job handling the basketball. Got himself into trouble a little bit, but they're going to be solid players. There's no question watching these kids here tonight. They'll grow with each game, but they're going to be positive forces down there at Duke.
Eric Meek, 3 out of 4 from the line for his 3 points. All in the first half, but he has been tough battling for rebounds inside.
He is really physical. He has really improved his body strength, great work ethic. You talk about freshman stars. Connecticut's going to have some great ones coming in next year. Washmel Jones from out of Trinity Catholic in Connecticut. Sam Funches from Mora High School, Jackson, Mississippi, where Othello Harrington was from.
55-51, UConn, as we approach 12 minutes remaining. Allen working one-on-one with Blakeney. Got a nice pick. Hayward down low, got the pass back. Boy, that's been a battle going on. Hayward, Meek, and Newton have been banging inside, and finally Hayward will get a foul out of it.
Hayward did a great job of keeping himself on the floor and using that little head fake. All young kids out there, if you learn to utilize that head fake, you'll get many an opportunity at that free throw line.
And Cherokee Parks will come back in. Newton will sit.
Chief gets a little rest, now comes back on. He's got 3 though, right, Brad?
Yes, he does. 3 fouls to go with his 24 points. Ryan Fair comes back in for the Huskies, and at the free throw line is Eric Hayward out of Alexandria, Louisiana.
Louisiana, it's amazing, as Jim Calhoun said, with the visibility and the exposure they receive on ESPN playing so often, it's allowed them to get into the homes of so many players across America. They also signed a great point guard by the name of Ricky Moore from out of Georgia. As you look at the free throw line now, both clubs shooting in the 60%. Not exactly where they'd like to be. Would like to get into the 70s.
Hayward got them both, and it stretches UConn's lead back to 57-51. Exactly 12 minutes left in this one. DirecTV Great Eight, direct to you from the Palace in Auburn Hills. UConn leads Duke 57-51. 12 minutes left in the ball game. And the way this one's going, we should say 12 minutes left in regulation.
See how Sheffer's trying to invite the ball up the sideline. But they did a great job. Duke had excellent spacing against the pressure.
Trajan Langdon, Blakeney, they work it around the perimeter. It's Capel on the baseline.
That was excellent ball reversal. They swung it side to side, got Capel on the baseline. He's an excellent baseline performer. Lawrence Moulton, one of the best operating on the baseline, but Capel's very strong and physical, taking the ball to the goal.
That was careless pass by Sheffer there, and he threw it away. Now Blakeney trying to find a handle.
He's really giving him a spark coming off the bench here. Blakeney has.
Duke can cut it to 2.
Duke has decided to go with experience now instead of youth.
A little too strong for Meek.
Going with Meek, Parks, and Capel now, and Blakeney.
Pull-up jumper won't go. Fair. Hayward underneath. He's been in a battle down low. 11:01 left in this one. Early tonight, if you missed it, it was Florida big in their victory over Boston College as the Gators went to 2-0 behind Andrew DeClerc's big evening. They shot 50% from the floor and won it 91-65. It was really never close.
Yeah, they really dominated. Tomorrow will be a real heavyweight matchup when Arizona comes in. Lute Olson's got himself another outstanding club. They lost a heartbreaker to Minnesota, but when they get Ben Davis back, he'll add another dimension. Damon Stoudemire, one of the premier guards in America, against that young Michigan team with 5 really outstanding freshman players, but they're going to take a little time to blend with Jimmy King and Ray Jackson, but Michigan, a very dangerous team. I'm looking forward to that matchup.
Hayward got the second. 3 points for him tonight off the line, and now he'll get a breather. So Knight's in there with Allen, King, Fair, and Sheffer for UConn.
Hayward did an outstanding job on the inside, giving real power, physical presence.
Wants some pressure on Price. He brings it all the way. Couldn't finish it. Meek gets hammered from behind as he puts it up.
Have you seen a player early this year get hammered as much as Meek? I mean, he is getting pounded. He's like fighting a heavyweight championship fight.
Let the Meek inherit the lane.
I like that. I like that. You work on it all the time.
No, I'm just sitting next to you. I have plenty of time to think.
Uh-oh. I'm so shy and introverted. I told the banquet last night, I said, my guy Brad's got all these beautiful notes here, and if he gets paid by the word, he's in trouble. They love
got 5. Kevin Eiley will check back in, and Sheffer will go out.
You know, both these clubs had great years last year. Duke 28-6, 12-4 in the ACC, goes to the final minute. You look at Connecticut 29-5, 16-2. They clinched the Big East early. But Connecticut gets beat by Florida, and people said, what happened? The same existed with North Carolina. This is the free throw. And that's such a sad commentary because Carolina had a great year, and so did Connecticut. You win 28 games. It's a great year.
58-54. Allen around a pick. The jumper comes off. Wojciechowski.
He's going to become a fan favorite down at Duke. Wojciechowski. People like to root for the little guy. See, there's that strength of that body going to the goal.
Capel fouled by Knight as he drove to the hoop.
Nice little reversal again, getting Capel one-on-one. They're trying to run that maneuver to get him to operate on the baseline. A little isolation, swinging the ball side to side. You break down defenses when you make that extra pass.
Capel's had a nice second half.
This game's going to come down to the last 3 or 4 minutes and be won by who can manage the clock well at the end of the game and who takes the real good high percentage shot and executes.
Capel with 10. Parks had his career high the other night against Northeastern, and if he's going to be a factor here at the end, I'm sure he will pass that career high.
You know, Northeastern's coached by Dave Lato, who formerly was on a staff in Connecticut. So he probably was on a phone with Jimmy Calhoun, sharing some scouting tidbits.
Fair out on top. Around a pick from Knight. And Allen wheels inside with a left hand.
Oh, what a great curl move. He got right around that screen. Little curl move, changed hands, put it into the left hand and scored.
Well, he's got 20. We're under 10 minutes, and it's 60-56. The Huskies hold that 4-point lead. Fair almost came up with a steal, and Wojciechowski for 3.
That's a big one for his confidence. He needed that one to go down.
His first one tonight, too.
Little Wojo. They're going to love Wojo and Cameron.
Donnie Marshall in the paint. Tip in by Knight.
Oh, wave it off. Wave it off. That was on the cylinder. That was on the cylinder. You can't play with it up on top.
The officials don't agree, and it's the Huskies by 3.
I know I'm blind in one eye, but I think that baby was on a cylinder, Brad.
Meek, trap. Gets out of it, gets a pass to Parks. Nice dish underneath.
Oh, great look by Cherokee Parks to Ricky Price. Look at Kevin Ollie. He'll run that ball right down your throat if you don't get back. Look.
And he goes all the way.
There he is. Kevin Ollie, baby. The scouting report says go coast to coast, so put it right down your throat. I love that guy, Ollie. He's a tough competitor, and he knows how to play defense on a ball as well.
Capel working that baseline. Parks will take it outside. That one rolls out on him.
Oh, we got a dandy of a game for this early in the season.
And it'll still be Duke ball. Let's check in with Leslie Visser.
Taking over the state of Connecticut, more than 18 members of the media, print, radio, and TV regularly cover Connecticut, both home and on the road. They travel all over with Connecticut. That's the largest press contingent in the country. Only Indiana, Carolina, and Duke come close. Brad, I'll see if I can get you and Dick some good ink.
All right, we could use it.
Hey,
At least I could use some.
That's Kenny Davis sitting right there. Big-time writer at Hartford Courant, covers Connecticut.
You know, Jim Calhoun would say that that contingent sometimes is too big. As Dick said, they lose a game, and they're all over him, and they forget about the 25, 26, 27, 28 they won.
Yeah, 29 wins. Carolina has 28, and people say, what happened? And that's the mentality of the NBA. What do you do in the postseason? That's what people really seem to only think about. I remember the year that Kansas had a great year 2 years ago and got beaten in the tournament early. And, you know, Roy Williams was disappointed because people said, what kind of year did you have?
Ali works it around the perimeter. Sheffer feeds Marshall, who spins against Meek on the baseline. Nice job by Meek defensively.
Not a good shot right there by Marshall. Really forced that one. It wasn't available.
Meek with 6 rebounds.
See, now you got to know the strengths of your team, and you got to make every possession count. Got the 2 freshmen playing now, Wojciechowski and Price, getting quality time.
We're under 8 minutes. Price wheeled on the baseline and got a push.
He's got that super quickness, that unbelievable first step.
Rudy Johnson, I think, is the guy that got him on the baseline.
Yeah, Johnson, a good defensive player. Look at the hug. Cherokee and Meeks, they're hugging. They're talking about we got to play together. We're Duke. We're a family. We're united. We got pride. Duke traditions.
There's the guy that has had so much to do with that tradition in his 15th year. 39-9 in the NCAA's back-to-back championships.
He was flirting with the NBA last year, had many people come after him, including Miami, including Portland. There's that pressure Ollie puts on you by running the ball up the court.
Sheffer's 3.
He got it to the right guy, too. Sheffer, but just came up a little bit short.
Price doesn't have numbers, and he'll get it outside to Capel. Now Wojciechowski, another 3, and he got another one.
He feels it. The little guy feels it. He's a competitor.
We're tied at 64.
There's Chris Callens leading the cheers. We got a good one, baby.
As I said, the time left in regulation, 7:14. Marshall lost the handle. Parks will pick it up. Duke with a chance to lead if they score this trip.
And you can see the confidence building with Wojciechowski with the rock.
Parks wheels, deals, and it's blocked by Knight.
Good defensive play by Knight.
Donnie Marshall on the run.
He's got to settle down. He's playing a little bit out of control.
Still UConn ball.
Playing hard, but you got to play hard, and you got to play smart.
6:53 left in this one, and Duke has come back to tie. East Regional Finals, Duke and UConn. 2.6 seconds to play. On the inbound, it's Christian Laettner. He gets the ball and knocks it down, the game winner, to send Duke to its 3rd straight Final Four. 1 year later, you can see the battle going on in the Midwest Regional, a rematch. And in this one, I think you could say that push definitely led to shove. Christian Laettner takes one of the chops on the floor, but he gets the last laugh And Duke goes on as Coach K wins his first national title that year.
You know, Christian Laettner is now a teammate with Jim Calhoun's Chris Smith with the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I'm sure they're talking a little bit about this contest. Having a little struggle right now in Minnesota.
They got some young talent up there, though, and Ryder and Marshall. Laettner and those guys. 64 apiece. Brad Nessler, Dick Vitale, and Leslie Visser with you at the Palace in Auburn Hills. Down to the last 6:35 of the game. Parks comes up with a steal.
Travis Knight brought the ball down. He made himself 5'11" instead of 6'11".
Parks trying to lob to Meek. Maybe not the best pass in the world. Ray Allen comes flying out of there with it. Nice cross-court pass. Kevin Ollie for three.
Great look over the top of the defense.
14 for Ollie.
What a great look by, yeah, it was an excellent look by Allen, put it right over the top of the defense. Ray Allen can flat out play.
Two freshmen on the court for Duke right now with under 6 minutes to play. Capel, the sophomore, goes up. And there's going to be a foul underneath on Ray Allen. And it was on Meek underneath, again battling for the rebound.
You know, it was really impressive watching Ray Allen make that pass. Most scorers who are transition players, they would have really tried to go out of control and make the score. Instead, he had the poise, as we watch him with a lot of poise right here. Freeze it. Right here, he's going to throw the ball across the defense and watch him throw right over the top. And there's the open man. And Ollie says, thanks a lot, Ray, and I'm going to get you to rock a little bit more.
No wasted motion in that pass either. Did it with a left hand.
Yeah, you like the way he kicked that with his left hand. I saw you smile. Did you play point guard like that?
Not that well, no. The game summary, Duke in the second half hit some threes that have really helped the cause, and Parks with 5 rebounds to go with his 24 points, and Meek, who has been a master blaster inside, picking up garbage and going to the free throw line. He hit 1 of 2. Made it a 2-point game. Kevin Ollie on a run down the sideline.
Wojciechowski had 2 big threes in a row. The little guy, number 12.
Nice feed. Ollie to Marshall. Wait a minute. Wave it off. Foul before the shot on Meek. That was a nice cut and a good pass by Ollie. And now Marshall will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, Ollie said, I had another assist, but Eddie Hightower, one of the premier officials in the game, made the call, had the foul in the post a little bit earlier. He was the center official in that sequence. Jim Calhoun says it doesn't get any easier. It doesn't get any easier. Jim now an avid golfer.
Donnie Marshall, 718 career points.
He's got to get a few more rebounds. He's too strong and too physical to have only a deuce on the glass. I like the way he runs the court, though. Very active, but I love his tenacity.
Second one comes away to Capel. A three-pointer would tie it. We're down to 5:36 left in the game.
See, Wojciechowski's the definition of a pure point guard. Something Duke played without last year.
Wojciechowski's got a couple threes this half. The lob underneath. Parks came up short. He got a little too deep on the baseline and couldn't find the hoop.
Yeah, couldn't get the good angle out of the high-low entry.
Ollie all the way.
There's that speed we've been talking about all night. Kevin Ollie, no one in America goes from baseline to baseline and can take it to the goal like Kevin Ollie.
Duke down by 5. We're under 5 minutes. Wojciechowski will try another one. Nailed it.
I'll tell you, a big 3. He'll knock down some. Look at this now. I
gotta
sneak
get
out
back.
again. Oh, that's intentional. That's got to be intentional.
Kenny Blakeney.
That's got to be intentional. It's got to be 2 shots of the ball, Brad.
Yep, they already called it. He mugged Ray Allen on the break.
Good call by the officials.
Just when Wojciechowski had cut it to 2, they didn't get back.
They catch and nap, and defensive transition is so important against Connecticut. If you don't get back in defensive transition, they'll have 4-on-3s, 5-on-4s all night long.
Ray Allen, who was a member of the Big East All-Rookie team last year, and you see the mugging by Blakeney from behind, and now Allen with a chance to hit his 22nd point Not bad for a guy who averaged about 21 minutes last year, but made his first start ever last week. It was good for 23 points. Tonight he has 22.
There are some people tell me they think he may be the best player ever at Connecticut before he's done in his career. That's saying a lot.
Sure
because
is.
Donyell Marshall was absolutely sensational.
Donnie Marshall. Parks got a piece of it. Doesn't like the call. Got a tee.
Oh, what a time to get a tee. Cherokee. That's not leadership. Can't get a tee at that time. 4:40 on the clock. 4-point game. That is a big situation. Watch the Chief right now. There he rotates over. There's the contact. And now he gets right in it. I don't know. You know, he's just disappointed with the call. A little disappointed. I don't know about the tee.
I'll tell you what. I think he was right on not agreeing with the call, but he can't react that way. Well, maybe he got a little bit of hand, but that was a pretty nice play, and then he just overreacted.
I don't know you call a tee in that situation, though, Brad. I mean, he really was more, I think, disappointed with the foul, a little upset with the call, but he didn't seem to say anything to the official, but it was certainly
demonstrative.
Yeah, animation, and I don't know, though, you make that call. I think sometimes you walk away and you turn your back from it. You got to understand the time, the situation a little bit in making that call. But you're not going to show up an official either.
Mike Krzyzewski was very calm when he got off the bench, but he walked out near midcourt, and I could read his lips, and he basically said that was a bad call. He didn't overreact in any form, but didn't agree with it, nor did his star pivot man. And now Donnie Marshall will go to the free throw line.
You got to write this down right now.
72-68 with 4:40 left.
See how big this has become.
That's where the tee comes to play.
Possession of the ball as well.
Yeah. They've had now an intentional foul on Blakeney, and now the technical foul on Parks.
We're going to take him out for a few seconds and bring him back on.
And Donnie Marshall kind of does a little body English to get that one to go in. 16 for Donnie.
I could see the technical if he gets into the face of the official and he's screaming at him and yelling at him, but it was just so much frustration. Oh, he fouled out. That was the fifth.
That was the fifth. We were trying to get...
Oh, that's right. Technical now counts as a personal. That was last year that rule was put in. A technical, an unsporting technical counts as a personal.
Now Allen shooting and just matched his career high. This will be a new career high right here if he hits it. Ray Allen. Nope, that one came away.
That's the new rule put in last year to count that as part of the 5 fouls that you're permitted and allowed. That's a big, big call now with their leader on the sideline.
6-point ball game right now. UConn with lead and ball in hand at 4:35 left to play.
If you talk about a big defensive possession by a team, Duke has to come up with a big defensive possession here. They can't allow it to go to 8. They got to try to force a stop and get it to 4. And if I'm Connecticut right now, I'm going to try to get the ball into Marshall. I'm going to try to get the ball to Marshall for a score. He's a little quicker.
Knight on the baseline. Rebound by Newton. Well, he's going in trying to do the job with Parks having fouled out, and he just picked up a key rebound.
I would have brought the ball to Donnie Marshall with his quickness against Meek. He would have speed against the power of Meek. Nice curl move.
Tip in. Meek got it.
Newton's going to really grow up right now. He's going to get QT, quality time here late in the game. Trying to step out into a trap. Got to watch the open man. Nobody rotated. That's what I was just talking about. He steps out. Newton runs in a big trap out front, and nobody rotates to protect him on the back line.
Again, a 6-point game, and Capel trying to get to that pass by Wojciechowski, and he threw it away. With 3 minutes, 25 seconds left in the game, the Huskies clinging to a 6-point lead.
Class! Attention, class! Say hello to Professor Hardaway!
Duke's got a little pressure on the basketball, but watch right here how Newton rotates out in the trap, and nobody rotates over to give him any kind of protection as he leaves his man. Here he is, he rotates out. Freeze it! There's the double up. Now watch, they're going to get the ball in here. No one broke back to try and take this lane away. And they get the ball tonight for the easy basket inside. What a big possession. Break down, they don't communicate, and they get an easy layup.
Try to cheer on the troops from the bench is Cherokee Parks, who's fouled out.
I just didn't think he should have went to the sideline. I really did. First of all, I question whether it was a foul on the play. The kid is frustrated. It's one of those questionable balls. He doesn't really curse or anything at the official, and he bangs him immediately at a crucial time.
Duke trying some backcourt pressure. No problem for you.
What a nice pass.
And a foul on Meek.
What a super pass, though, by Scheffner. He did a great job, Scheffner, of anticipating. That's called anticipation, alertness. He gets hugged. Now watch the touch pass right here. I mean, there's no hesitation.
This whole team has great court awareness on the break as to where their teammates are. Newton comes in. Blakeney goes out. Travis Knight will go to the free throw line.
Eric Meek could be a little fatigued right now, really playing so hard.
He sure has. Travis Knight quietly has 7 points.
Well, remember that situation, 4:40 on the clock, when they had the technical 4-point differential.
Price, Wojciechowski, Capel, Meek, and Newton. That's Duke's 5.
Tells you what Mike Krzyzewski thinks of the 2 diaper dandies. Wojciechowski and Price are on the floor late in the game.
Well, he's definitely going to need some shooters here in the next 3 minutes and 5 seconds. And both Price and Wojciechowski, despite their freshman status, have shown no nerves about putting the thing up.
Mike's still talking about that technical.
Wojciechowski might have had that tipped a little bit on takeoff by the defender. And it comes free. Ali will bring it up for UConn.
Allen, a real good rebounder as well for his size on the wing. He's matched up with Price. Got to watch Price right now. Defensively, Allen trying to set him up for a little one-on-one maneuver.
Ali posting Wojciechowski up. And a foul on Wojo. Don't forget, more DirecTV Great 8 action tomorrow night. As first we have the Big 8 and the Big 10 squaring off at 7. It's Purdue and Missouri. Then the nightcap, Michigan, ranked 17th against the 9th-ranked Arizona club of Lute Olson. That's tomorrow night, 7 and 9, our twin bill here on ESPN.
Interesting to see how they try to check Damon Stoudemire of Michigan. Stoudemire looking a little bit more offensively now as Jim Calhoun working that sideline, looking at the clock.
Kevin Ollie getting set to match his career high if that goes, and it does.
The one great thing they have going for them at Connecticut is tremendous pressure in practice every day with the competition. D. Rowe, former coach of Connecticut, a guy who's a tremendous basketball mind. We were talking about that today, about the intensity of practice.
Price got the roll.
Duke's got to try to make something happen with their defense now.
Ricky Price with 15. Scheffner has just done a solid job handling the ball and not dishing out assists, playing defense. He hasn't scored a lot, but he's had a heck of a game.
They get Price for a hold here on the wing. He hooked Allen from out of Hillcrest High School. And then Carolina, South Carolina.
Ray Allen, 23 on the night.
He certainly has lived up to his billing. Came in here with all the reports about his great performance in the Olympic Festival, broke Shaquille O'Neal's record. There's Tommy Amica, the coach, sitting next to Cherokee Parks. Not a place you'd like to have Cherokee late in the game.
Nope. Allen missed the second. Meek with yet another rebound. That's his 7th rebound of the night.
Got to swing the ball over Price.
Capel, short. Ali all alone for the rebound with under 2 minutes now to play. They needed that one badly.
That was a poor shot. They're going to spread the court, use some of the clock, manage the clock, try to get a little high post and maybe a backdoor cut. This Scheffner's got great presence and poise with the rock in his hands.
The Israeli Iceman.
Baron Scheffner spotting his seam. He's got the great size. Looks right over the top of the defense.
Foul on Meek, out on top. And that might do it for Eric, too, I think, isn't it? That should be all for Eric Meek. So the two big guys for Duke are departed.
Well, you know, Duke, when they get back, Chris Collins gives them certainly a special dimension on a perimeter, an experienced player. They're going to get better and better. This is a great learning time for these young players playing a real strong Connecticut team that I think could be as good as they were last year.
So the Twin Towers are sitting for Duke. Donnie Marshall with 17 points. And it is starting to look like the Huskies game, unless Duke has got something up its sleeve here in the last 90 seconds. Langdon, three outside. Trajan Langdon nailed it. That's his first field goal of the night. Certainly came at a good time for the Duke Blue Devils with 1:25 remaining in the game, but they still find themselves trailing by 6. Six-point game, 1:25 left. Jim Calhoun's Huskies of UConn have led virtually throughout this game. And you can see the foul situation. Duke over the limit. UConn with a possession arrow. And Duke forces a turnover.
And people are leaving like they did when we had that Syracuse game. We know today with the three-point shot, 2 possessions in a minute, you can get yourself quickly back into an OT situation.
Wojciechowski and Langdon, the 2 freshmen, are out there. The best three-point shooters probably on the floor. Langdon hit his last one.
Yeah, you know, he came in with a great reputation as a shooter, and he will be a solid perimeter shooter. There he is right now.
He had to adjust, though. Good move defensively. And Newton, I thought he was going to get an old-fashioned three-pointer. Knight with a foul.
And also it stops the clock, something Jimmy Calhoun doesn't want. You win games at the end by managing the clock and really executing. The Duke bench is certainly into it. Chris Collins is a real cheerleader. See, Langdon won the McDonald's three-point shooting contest, but has really struggled early, and he puts a little pressure on himself because he's such a perfectionist.
Newton has not been to the line tonight. Didn't bother him. Nailed it. Chris Collins.
See, right now, Collins certainly would be on the floor, a three-point shooter. Duke's going to rotate into some real strong pressure.
That's a big rebound by Marshall.
Connecticut's got a heady guy on the floor with this guy right here. He and Ollie together, very bright in that backcourt. Spreading the court.
Sheffer again showing the excellent ball handling skills. Tough pass. And a foul on Newton.
Yeah, that was a tough pass right there. Ollie was trying to go on the inside because he wants a post on Wojciechowski. I think right now he's got to get himself in position to get free to get the ball in his hands.
Don't forget, coming up, Sports Center. Dan Patrick and Keith Olbermann will be along. Matumbo versus the Dream. Chris Webber tries to get his first win as a Bullet. A preview of the ACC and all the rest of what's going on in sports is 55.7 seconds away.
Wow, Webber could still be in college. Wouldn't that be scary?
Yeah.
Hey, think about this. They're opening up the new center in Boston, the Shawmut Center. Unbelievable facility. They're going to have college basketball. What a way to kick it off. I want to be a matchmaker. You and I be the matchmakers, co-matchmakers, and we get 10%. We set up Calipari in Massachusetts and Calhoun in Connecticut. Yeah. Let's do it. Open up the center. Massachusetts wants Connecticut. Jim Calhoun, say yes to Calipari.
26 for Ray Allen tonight. Langdon lost the handle. Picked up, though, by Price. Blakeney now.
Great offensive rebound.
Timeout, Duke. 43.2 seconds left. The Huskies, though, hanging tough, and they lead by 5.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the DirecTV Great Eight is presented by DirecTV, introducing personalized TV, and in part by the Delta Faucet Company. Delta, the way water is brought to life. By Dodge, the more things change, the more things look like the new Dodge. And by Bud Light, if you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
A scrappy Duke team refusing to go away. But 43 seconds, all they have left to try to close a 5-point gap. And full court pressure on the Huskies.
Oh,
and Donnie Marshall takes the timeout.
Almost had the violation, the turnover.
Donnie Marshall wisely, the senior, thinking quickly and calling the timeout so they don't get the turnover. Sports Center 43 seconds away. Dan Patrick and Keith Olbermann will be along with those stories and a lot more.
That's a dynamic backcourt. They can make things happen. I don't know what people did without SportsCenter years ago. I know I would be totally lost. I can't wait to jump in and get the scores.
A lot of people think you're still totally lost.
Hey, you roasted me here tonight. I am lost, I'll tell you.
We've had 4.5 hours to chat.
Oh, gee.
Well, tomorrow night, more of the same. Purdue and Missouri, game 1 tomorrow night at 7, and then the nightcap as Michigan, the home team, if you will, against Lute Olson's Arizona club.
This is a big win right now for the Big East. Certainly strategically right now, Connecticut talking a little bit about how to protect the basketball, make their free throws count. Also how to be right now in the situation free throws become so big. They know if they get the ball in the hands of the right people, things good will happen. Who are the right people? Certainly Sheffer is an outstanding guy. You'd like to have the ball here. And Kevin Ollie, who has really matured as a point guard.
Doesn't get any easier for Duke in the next week and a half. They've got Illinois, George Washington, and Michigan.
You know, Illinois is an improved basketball team. Lou Henson's team got some solid players with Garris.
Sheffer trapped on the inbound. They knocked it away from him. Langdon picks it up.
And he's the guy you really wanted the ball, but it was a hard, tough trap that created the opportunity.
Foul on Donnie Marshall, and life still remains in the Blue Devil.
There's the trap. It's a hard trap in the corner. Sheffer goes to no-man land, which is to that sideline corner, where now the sideline becomes an extra defensive player.
Kenny Blakeney, an 80% free throw shooter so far this year, 75% in the 7 games he played in last year. So he's not a guy you wouldn't mind having at the line, but it comes out on him.
That's a big miss because he had to make 2 to make it a 1-possession game. Now you're still looking at 2 possessions if he makes 1 with a 4-point differential.
Cherokee Parks can't look. Or can barely look. Oh, he missed the ball.
That really hurts big time.
And a foul on Capel. Well, one of the guys you wouldn't expect to miss a free throw just missed 2 of them.
Jimmy Calhoun pacing that sideline. Now has to feel a little bit better. Travis Knight out of Sandy, Utah. Brother playing for Brigham Young University.
Travis, a 7-footer, junior.
His sister's in medical school down at Georgetown.
He has 9 rebounds to go with his 7 points tonight.
Got a nice touch, good rotation. He's a key to this team and how far they're going to go. They need some inside play. Their perimeter play is going to be sensational. I really believe, and I really count Allen as almost a perimeter player on the wing. And you put him with Sheffer and with Ollie, they got 3 really solid guys there. And Fair also.
Now Duke's got a hustle. Capel rattled that one in, but they still are down 4 points and need 2 possessions.
I think they're scary, though. They just don't go away.
They don't go away.
They just come at you, come at you, come at you. You think you got it locked up. You think the bus driver's getting in the parking lot and is really getting the bus ready, and they're finding a way somehow to make it interesting.
They're like that one mosquito when you're out trying to fish that you have to keep swatting at all day long.
You're a fisherman?
I try to be.
Oh.
I'm fishing right now. DirecTV Great 8 continues tomorrow night. We've got 2 more for you. Again, we've got Missouri and Purdue. That should be a dandy of a matchup. And then 9th-ranked Arizona, number 17, Michigan is our 9 o'clock game. All of that tomorrow night as DirecTV Great 8 continues from the Palace at Auburn Hills. Dick and I, Leslie, will be right back here with you for more hoops tomorrow night.
This will be a big win for the Big East. They needed a win over a marquee team, and Connecticut has really stepped forward here tonight. Jack McCallum wrote that big article in Sports Illustrated about the Big East being back.
Remember Cherokee Parks, who fouled out with 24 points in this ball game. Remember this point at 4:40 remaining in the game. Duke down 4. Looks like he may have gotten the clean block on Donnie Marshall. The foul is called there. The reaction is such, and the technical called on him. You see Kevin Ollie pointing at Parks and at the officials if to say, hey, I want a tee. And he got it, and Parks has been out ever since.
I really think that was a bad call based on a situation. Number one, the kid's a little frustrated. He thinks he makes the great play. He shows a little emotion, and I think you got to, as an official, be strong and be able to not make that call. And that's...
Whoa, dangerous pass stolen by Price.
They're not going to go away.
Blakeney drives, and then they go back to the free throw line.
And they only used 3 seconds on the clock. Jim Calhoun's saying, when is this baby going to end? Getting really sloppy against the pressure. Again, getting back to managing the clock and handling the ball late in the game and making good decisions. Not happening here for Connecticut and keeping this guy a little nervous.
Kenny Blakeney missed his last 2. Duke, in fact, has missed its last 3 from the line. These are huge.
Wow. Got to make one at least, so you can keep it to 1 possession with a trifecta.
Blakeney, a 6'4" senior, played at DeMatha.
He should have stepped off the line and then regrouped himself.
Got that one.
He got that one to fall. Now comes the hard pressure.
Diving, trying to stop Kevin Ollie is Wojciechowski, and that will walk it to the other end.
They're going to love this kid down at Cameron, how hard he plays. What a job Jim Calhoun did at Northeastern and now at Connecticut Sports Center. Coming up next, Patrick to Keith, baby. What a combination.
Kevin Ollie now, who is 3 of 5 from the free throw line tonight, but he's hit his last 2.
Kevin Ollie came out of Crenshaw High School and has really developed to be a solid guard. Now here's where he's got to demonstrate real winning ability, make these count. As a point guard, you're going to have the ball in your hands late in the game when the game is on the line and you have to convert.
He just converted for a career-high night. 19 for Ollie. And there the second one goes too, and that should maybe do it.
That's execution. That's special situations, making them count.
Capel and Newton on the flyer, but they're out of timeouts. Duke can't stop it. They've got to foul again and do so in a hurry. Capel all over Ollie, and that might be it for Capel too, as Duke keeps losing players.
And this is, again, Kevin Ollie. We talk about special situations. You talk about the offensive execution, your team defense, and then special situations, the free throw line, attacking pressure, sideline plays, baseline plays. This game, in so many games, comes down to free throw shooting.
Jim Calhoun gathers his team, except Kevin Ollie, who walks up to the free throw line solo. Now the officials at the scores table have halted play momentarily. That is 5 fouls, I thought so, on Capel, and he is gone.
30 seconds to make a substitution.
So now Duke has lost Capel, Meek, and Parks.
Bring in Blakeney, I would think.
Gives us a chance to bring you up to date on our DirecTV player of the game. And this one, Ray Allen, 26 points, 8 rebounds, and a blocked shot. What a huge night he had. We talked about him before the game. He delivered. And as if Ray didn't deliver, the kid at the free throw line right now has delivered as well tonight, and that is Kevin Ollie. 20-point night. And with a 3-point lead right now, he can pin this thing down for the Huskies.
He just made 2 free throws with 21 seconds to go. Knocks down his 3rd straight. That is the sign of a mature point guard. A guy that with the pressure on could step at the line and convert.
It came in number 4 in career assists for UConn, and tonight he leaves with a huge offensive night, and that has finished things off in this one. 22 for Ollie.
It's very frustrating to have a point guard that can't make free throws, especially if the game's on the line.
Blakeney hits a 3. .88-86, they get a foul with 2.2 left. Blakeney, out of desperation, finally tracked down Ollie.
Remember, in college basketball, if it gets to that situation, a new rule this year, you can't have a score on a ball thrown in bounds with 0.3 of a second or less. You can only have a score on a tap. You cannot have a guy catch the ball and shoot the ball and get a score. We're not to that point yet with 2.2 seconds.
It'll be academic if Ollie hits both of these.
And I'll tell you, he just went to the line like it was like automatic.
17 second half points, and he's hit 5 straight from the line.
See, you keep it score, Brad. Yeah, put the 2 down. He's automatic. He feels it. He wants it. He wants it. Get me the rock, he said. Are you kidding me? Put it down. Get the bus ready. We're going to Connecticut with a W. Put it down. Yeah, put it down. I'm going to put it down for you.
All right.
You don't want to put it down. You don't want to jinx it. Put it down. Get it down in the book. Come on, get it down. Get it down.
Holly has won it for UConn. That is going to do it. Duke might get a last shot, but it won't matter. Allen with a steal. And the Huskies of the Big East have beaten Duke of the ACC here in our DirecTV Great Eight. Second game tonight. 2 more, don't forget, yet to come tomorrow night. But for now, for Dick Vitale and Leslie Visser, I'm Brad Nessler for our entire ESPN crew saying so long from the Palace in Auburn Hills, where the Huskies beat the Blue Devils 90-86. Sports Center is next.